Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Streaming Theatre, where we curate, live edit, and live stream play readings, theatrical works, gigs, and other creative projects. My name's Kevin Kemp. I'm the founder of the Streaming Theatre, and today we have a live Q&A with Oddsocks Productions, the wonderful company behind our show streaming next week, a 30-minute comedy version of Macbeth. We also have Ramsorrun on the show, who is the editor and director of photography of Macbeth. And as always, I would love to hear from you. If you have any questions for Oddsocks about their company or the show or their plans for the future, just tap it out on the live chat and we'll try and get to it. If you're watching on Twitch, you should see the live chat just there. And if you're on the website, come and join us on Twitch. Just click the button below me where it says watch live on Twitch. And you can view the stream without being a member, but if you want to chat on the live stream, then you do need to be a member of Twitch. But it's a super fun platform with loads of content, so come and join us and have a chat. It's fun. So we've been in rehearsal for this project for a couple of weeks now. We've still got 1 week to go with the project, and if you would like to help us, you can donate to the stream. You can do that with the donate button below me. For today's show and for the show next week, make sure that you choose the Oddsocks Stay Home Shakespeare button. You'll be sent over to the Oddsocks box office. You can donate any amount that you want to, and your donation will be shared between the artists that are making the project. And that helps us keep making shows and keeps theatre alive in this super tough time. So help us if you can. We'll love you forever. So without further ado, let's bring on Oddsocks and Key. Hopefully they should just pop up. Oh, here's Key. Hi, Key. And we've got Oddsocks. Hi, everybody. How you doing?
Hello.
Lovely. Nice. Why don't we do a couple of intros? Why don't we go around Oddsocks and you guys can tell us who you are and what you're doing in the show next week.
Okay, so my name is Ellie. I'm creative producer at Oddsocks, and next week I'm playing Lady Macbeth, all of the witches, and other parts like Ross, a messenger, and Seaton, and places, people like that.
King Duncan.
King Duncan, very important. Playing King Duncan. So yeah, being a bit bonkers and playing lots of parts.
Hello, my name's Andy Barrow. I'm artistic director of Oddsocks, and Oddsocks is a company that Ellie and I founded 31 years ago.
What? How's that possible?
Yeah. I know. And I'm playing Macbeth, so I've only got one small part in it, really. So
it's really difficult.
There's a few lines there.
And hello, I am Charlie. I am the daughter of said couple and Oddsocks. I am playing Banquo, Macduff, Messenger. Who else?
It's forgotten already. Can't go on.
I think that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, and Murderer.
Oh, yeah, Murderer.
Oh, good, yeah.
Oh, cool. That's my starring role.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Typecast again.
And Key, what are you doing on the project next week? Nice. And you guys know me, I'm Kevin Kemp, and I'm directing the show as well. So it might be useful. Hopefully we've got lots of Oddsocks fans watching today. But in case we've got anybody else that don't know you guys, why don't you tell us a little bit about who Oddsocks are, what they do, and how the company got started 30 years ago.
Yeah. Well, Ellie and I were at drama college together, and having come out of drama college and done acting roles in theatres and things like that, we also started to do some street theatre, some clowning, and we got to the point where we wanted to kind of run our own company and make it. We were doing a lot of sort of part-time jobs in between acting work.
Sure.
And we wanted to pay the mortgage doing work that we enjoyed doing, rather than driving lorries or temping and things like that. So we set up a company and sort of put everything together that we could do on a flyer and sent it to people, councils and arts organisations, things like that, and the response was really positive. In fact, it was better when we did that than when we sent our own acting CV. So maybe we thought, maybe we're on something.
Yeah.
And then it sort of grew. We started off doing clowning, children's theatre, things like that, and we'd had some experience at Drama College, and since then doing what we called mini Shakespeares, which was sort of 2-person, half-hour Shakespeare shows. And I can still remember getting the call from English Heritage, and we'd sent them a flyer suggesting those, and we were decorating our living room at the time, and so everywhere was covered with dust sheets, and the phone rang, and it was like, it's around here somewhere, and we literally had to sort of get under the dust sheets and pick the phone up, and it was in English Heritage saying, we've got your leaflet, and we're really interested in your mini Shakespeares. And it was like, right, great.
They said, which ones are you doing this summer? And we went,
right.
All of them?
We said the names of the Shakespeare plays that we knew off the top of our heads.
Sure.
And, and they went, great, we'll book 6 of them.
Yeah.
No way.
And it was like, wow, and then we were on a roll.
It's been
really.
over the last 31 years. It's been a bit of a kind of a rise and a plateau, and each time we've plateaued, something has happened after a little while that's boosted us on to the next. Whether it's a decision that we've had to make for economic reasons, or whether someone's come into our lives that's gone, why don't you do this? Or someone's come into our lives that said, if you did that, I'll support you. And at each time we've done a little bit of an incremental rise. So that's what's kept us going over the last 31 years, not the least of which is the fact that we still have people who come and see us today who came to our first ever performances in 1989.
Yeah. That's
and
really...
not only that, but their grandchildren, their children and then their grandchildren. So they're bringing, it's generational.
It's very, I mean, it's straight, here we are, a family company, but I think we've always approached our audience and seen them as family and appealed to a family audience.
Yeah.
And that's sort of paid off in a way, because there's something really nice about audiences that are made up of children and adults, grandparents, a real mixture. And I think the children almost mature sitting with the adults, and the adults often relax and become a little bit more childlike. Yeah. And we are able to play on lots of different levels, so that the kids get a joke, the adults enjoy the kids getting a joke, but then the adults get a different joke at the same time. And it's been lovely to be able to play on all those different levels, work that we've done.
And I think that was something that really struck me when I came to join you guys on Midsummer Night's Dream a long time ago. And for those of you that, just to keep you in the loop, I've worked with Oddsocks for many years on many shows, and it is one of the most joyous companies to work for in the world. You just have the best time. And this feeling that they've just talked about their audience members being part of a family is just so real, because when that first job that I went on tour with them, I had audience members coming up to me and saying, "Oh, welcome to Oddsocks." And it's like, they have such like family ownership over the company, don't they? They're so part of it. And it's unlike any other company I've ever worked for, is this like true feeling of community that you guys make happen. So it's beautiful. It's so cool.
And I think this current situation, it's something that we've been really aware of. The community, the Oddsocks community, isn't just the audience, but it has been the actors and the people that we've worked with, that we are still in contact with, and like you guys, we've not worked together for a number of years. Yeah. But then we were talking about making connections with people that we haven't, spoken to for a while and things like that. and situations arise that you just go, actually, we could do something here.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely. That was,
that's
I think.
critical.
I mean,
Yeah, and I think
Andy, we worked together last year, but you seem to have forgotten that. That's fine. That's all right.
Sorry, who are you?
While we're bringing Key in, I just did see on the live chat stream that somebody can't hear you. So
Yeah,
I'm just
Gav
gonna
said he can't hear us, so I realised I need to turn my mic on.
Oh,
So that bodes well for next week.
great. I've just done a check and you are coming through now, so that's lovely. It'll be fine next week, guys. It'll be perfect. Yeah, and so Key, you worked with Oddsocks for like many years, didn't you? You were part of the company.
Yeah, I did my first tour as an actor with Oddsocks in 2002, and then did consecutive summers until 2007. And then after that, I realised I wasn't very good at acting, and I'd run out of funny voices and funny walks. So I thought,
You run out, that's all. You were really good, but you run out of people.
it was the range that was the problem. Yeah. So then I worked with Oddsocks for another 3 or 4 years, I think it was, but more on the film side of things. So as the company was developing more into doing corporate films and stuff like that, I did a lot of that, and then helping Andy build the sets for the theatre shows and stuff like that. Yeah.
Cool. And so you guys started in this, you said this sort of 30-minute clowning, fun short Shakespeare's, but now you're a nationally touring theatre company that goes all over the UK and sometimes off to other places as well. So, you've grown massively. And what do the shows look like now if somebody's not seen an Oddsocks show? How would you describe it?
The most recent shows have got a lot more music involved, certainly in the summer, and the set is more solid, should we say, than a lot of the previous ones. And if people go to our YouTube channel, Oddsocks Comms, we put up some of the most recent musical versions of Twelfth Night, Hamlet, and Much Ado About Nothing, as well as Jane Eyre, and there's a number of different shows up there. So that's what we would normally be touring this time of year. Yeah, this time of year we would be getting ready to take a show like that out on the road.
And they're always hilarious. Every time I've gone to see them and every time I've had family come to see, we are always just in stitches, like all the way through the show. It's brilliant. But I think what I love about Oddsocks is that they always honour the text as well. You're able to be incredibly funny and be so true as well. And it's just awesome. Cool. So that's what you'd normally be doing. And Charlie, you don't normally tour with Oddsocks in there. So what would you normally be doing right about now before all this craziness hit?
Well, for the last however many years, like 19 years, almost, I've been in school, so
sure.
I haven't been able to tour, but I have been on tour in various different ways.
Yeah.
But last year I left school finally.
Cool.
Started hopefully at the start of my acting career and
Nice.
other jobs that I've been doing. But I would be getting ready for a portrait exhibition that was going to be happening, but now is postponed or cancelled.
Sure.
But I'm just keeping myself busy with painting and running around the house like a madman.
Excellent. And you're and they've dragged you into this show. So what kind of acting stuff have you done before running around in this mad production?
Well, literally just before isolation kind of kicked in, I was in a production of Amelia, which is a new show written last year on the West End last year. I was in a production of that in Nottingham with a really great company called the Television Workshop.
Cool.
Which I'm part of.
Nice.
And I've done a few various different projects with them before. And I've done some filming. I've done lots of different bits that have all been a big range of like various styles, various mediums, and everything in between.
Nice. And then Key, when you left Oddsocks, you moved more into film production. Is that right?
Yeah. So when I was an actor, and if ever I was on a film set, I always felt like the other side of the camera was more interesting because, like, as an actor, I always experienced I was mostly on my own all day, so there was very little time to hang out with anyone, like, because the crew's always together, but the actors are very rarely together on sets. So I ended up just like hanging out with the crew, and then kind of realised how much more interested I was in that. So when I wasn't acting, I retrained as a filmmaker, and then basically just sort of transitioned into that. Really, it was a very slow crossfade into filmmaking humour. And I realised I was much better at it as well.
Yeah, and he is incredible. When you guys see the show next week, Key's been in charge of building all of these, visual assets and things like that we'll be putting onto the show, and he's really incredible. And if you go and see his work on his website, it's amazing. So
don't hype it up too much, Kev.
He's told us which direction to point the cameras in, which is a great deal of help.
That is definitely useful.
Yeah.
So that sort of segues us nicely into the actual show that we're doing next week. So when I started the streaming theatre, I really was so excited to work with you guys on something, because I just think the charm and the comedy of Oddsocks is just totally what people need right now, and I just thought your style would fit really well into streaming. And so then I reached out to you guys, and you were already in the works, right? You'd already kind of been thinking about Macbeth and how to do it. So how did you come up with a comedy 30-minute Macbeth? How does that happen? How did you do funny Macbeth?
Over the years, we must have done the production of Macbeth at least 6 times in various ways.
Okay.
It's a really adaptable Shakespeare. It's already one of the shortest of his works, but it's a very solid plot. There are subplots, but they all lead to the main plot, as a lot of Shakespeare's don't. They're all very kind of diverse. So this one makes sense, and it's easy, well, not easy, it can be reduced down very well and maintain the storyline, which is the most important part of what we do. But Andy's done a brilliant job on making this the shortest version we've ever done.
Yeah.
And really suitable for what we're doing within this context, which is really an experiment to see if it can be done. And it might work, it might not work, who knows? But it's about having fun with it, and part of what his script, his adaptation, Andy's adaptation has allowed us to do, is to have the ability to travel around the house and get into the right characters at the right times. So it's done slightly differently than we would do it in the open air normally, because part of the fun of this is going to be, are we not only going to be in the right character, in the right room, at the right time, with the right costume. It's whether we've actually put the camera that's for the next scene into that position and switched the light on and moved the pot out of the way and moved the fishbowl and cleared up the bread stains, but in time for the next scene to go on. So it's a bit of an adventure, and I think, as always with our productions, I think it would be as fun to have a camera backstage as it is.
Oh, absolutely. And to let you guys into the window of that a little bit, so the whole premise of this, that it's live acted, live edited, and live streamed. So these guys are literally running around their house with cameras set up in different positions, trying to just tell this story, and we're kind of capturing it. And then Key is capturing all of those video feeds and then is live editing to go straight out. So there's no time for us to it's all just happening right there and then, and that's what makes it like a live theatre piece, and that's what I think is really exciting. And so
could happen.
Anything could and probably will happen.
Someone could come and knock on the door, and I don't know.
Oh my goodness, I hadn't even thought about that.
Well, it's already happened during rehearsal.
Yeah.
Various ways.
Yeah, at various times when we.
That's right.
When we were rehearsing entrances in the front, through the front door, trying to get the timing right, and we'd have a discussion with you in LA, and then we go, okay, yeah, Kev, we'll try and get it right this time. We go out the front door, and a neighbour's walking past. We're just gonna
doing a show.
Sorry, Kev, we were late that time because we were talking. So who knows what's going to happen?
But I think that's why it works so well with Oddsocks, right? Because, you know, when we're doing outdoor touring, you get birds landing on the stage and you guys just roll with it. And sometimes it's the funniest moments of the show is when you guys just use your clowning and your ad-lib skills to just make that part of it. So I think that's why this is so fun. You know, it's... And so, Key, why don't you tell us a little bit about how many cameras we've got set up, and then maybe you guys can show us how that looks in your house.
Chaos.
Yeah, go on, Key. What are we doing? What mad things are we doing?
We have 7 cameras set up throughout the house, the majority of which move at different times so that we can do scenes in different places. So while you might be watching one scene that's on 2 cameras, someone else in the cast is moving another 2 cameras into another room so that we can do another scene after that. And then we're live cutting so that you can see what's going on throughout. So yeah, 7 cameras.
And we've had to use literally what we had in the house, right? Because we're at stay-at-home orders. We can't go and get professional film cameras.
So it's all laptops and mobile phones.
And it's great. It's so fun. Charlie, can you show us perhaps one of the setups that Andy Barrow built, this magnificent moving tripod for the laptop? So we've got a shotgun mic onto the tripod. We've got a mixer onto it. And then you just put the laptop on top of that, don't you?
Yeah, not only that, it swivels.
Oh
Yeah. And I've sprayed it black as well, because
just so it looks nice.
It would go fast.
Can you point the rifle mic back at you so we can hear you again? And then you can narrate what Charlie's showing us now as well.
Charlie's now over by the kitchen window. There's a laptop which is on the QI game box.
On top of some DVDs.
To get it to the right height. So that's looking into, that will be looking into the kitchen. And there you just flash past another laptop which is currently on the hob.
Which is so old, this laptop is so old that it's got a crack in it, and we have to gather tape the power cable to it.
Make do and mend.
That laptop is so old that when I was working for Oddsocks, I said to Andy, "You've got to get rid of that laptop."
You know what? I didn't.
And now it's in the show.
Yeah.
And so, Key, obviously this is not traditional filmmaking, right? This is not like how you would normally do a camera setup and how you would normally edit a film.
No, but it's a beautiful mix between theatre and a live show, like you know, when you've got multi-camera setup at a concert or something and you're doing vision mixing there.
Yeah, great.
But then like the elements of the cinematography of a film and TV show, so it's a really lovely blend of all of those things, and it's a challenge, but when we get it right, it's a wonderful experience, and it's really exciting to be part of that, because it feels like it's something new and fresh, you know?
I think that's it. It is, hopefully anyway, and as Ellie said, we're experimenting, we're trying to make this new medium work, but it is a new medium, you know? It isn't pre-recorded film, and it's not exactly live art, because we've been figuring out where to put these camera angles to capture you guys. So it is just like a new weird thing. I mean, what's that been like for you guys performing? You know, because obviously normally you're in a field, right? You know, trying to project out to a huge crowd. What's it been like kind of transitioning into just doing a play in your house?
I think for me, a couple of things. But firstly, it's been challenging because it is about toning everything down. It's about learning. Andy's had more experience of film and television than I have, and that, you know, but we are theatre actors.
But you always tell me to use my inside voice.
Yes. Andy has this voice that, you know, he's worked open air more years than I have, because since we had children, I've been doing the winter shows rather than the outdoor shows, and so his voice is naturally tuned to volume 16 on a dial of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
And mine tends to be about volume 2 anyway, so I think maybe I'm quicker to pick that up. But it is a different way of performing, and I'm not a very visual person, you know. I'm not very. What I'm having to do is learn to be aware that whether I'm and what's tricky, I guess, is that sometimes we can't see the full screen on the device that we're working with. So it's a bit of guesswork, and you have to work to marks and things like that. So technically, it's been a bit of a challenge, and also it's been a challenge because it's about when you go out and perform, you're in a theatre, and the theatre, the stage, or the field or the setup that we provide creates the world. What's here is that my world, my home world, has suddenly got to become Lady Macbeth's home.
Yeah.
I was going to say, what's it like living in the same space as you're performing? That's so interesting.
It is really strange, and it's going to create new memories for me.
True. It's a mess, that's for sure.
Yeah.
The floor has never had so many tape marks on it.
Yeah,
because stand here, that's for this camera, that's for that, and they've been there for weeks.
Yeah.
And it's I've got to admit, by the end of the week, moving the furniture around again
is a bit of a drag.
Is like, I can't wait for the weekend.
Yeah.
But
and what it's done during lockdown is it has kept the days going by really quickly.
Yeah.
You know, I was going to write a novel.
It's really interesting, kind of having to flip your head constantly between I want to do my character intentions and I want to like have some really deep, interesting conversations with our director over in LA, and then it's also like I can't be seen and I've got to be on this mark and I'm shorter than everyone else and I've got to be loud enough so they can hear me, but I've got to all of those different things. And we're trying to, because we have resources that a lot of families don't have, because we've got 30 years of props, of like random baby puppets or something. We've got them around the house, which normal people don't have. Which is but we could have used those kind of things. We could have set up some cameras in the garden and created a show and sent it out for everyone. But it's interesting limiting ourselves to what everyone else has.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really have those things around the house. I mean, they're in a storage unit.
Yeah.
Our swords and our things are in a storage unit, and obviously with limiting the amount of time that one has to go out and get those things, we've been able to access a couple of things at night when the storage unit is not being used generally.
Yeah.
But on the whole, we've gone, right, no, we need swords. Well, we're not going to have swords. We haven't got access to them. What can we use? Spatulas. Kitchen implements. Big spoons.
Yeah, and I think that's where some of the real like joyous comedy stuff comes from, right? Is like, how do you do a Shakespeare show with only what you've got in your house?
That's it. That's what we had so many discussions about what it is about doing this that makes it different, makes it unique, makes it creatively interesting. And that was effectively what we came up with, was what's in your home, what can you use to tell this story. And it forces you to be creative. Severed head. How do you make a severed head?
Well, you don't have one kicking around.
No, it's gone off.
And so your Oddsocks fans, in normal life, they sit through rain, and I've seen them wrapped up in freezing cold nights, and they are sticking with you and they stay with you in those live shows. And I so hope that they tune into this, because it is all that Oddsocks joy, charm and love that you get from the normal show, but you get you guys running around in your own house with spatulas for swords and colanders for helmets and all that stuff, and it's going to be a lot of fun, right?
Yeah, spatulas for swords says it all to me.
Yeah. Well, I think that's probably all we've got time for on the stream, but guys, I'm so happy inside to be working with you, so thank you so much for
Great to be working with you guys too.
And please join us next week. Next Friday we start at 7 p.m. Is that right, guys?
7 p.m. UK time.
7 p.m. UK time, 11 a.m. Los Angeles time, and that puts us at 2 p.m. New York time. So wherever you are, come and watch Oddsocks, even if it's for the first time. They are one of the best companies I know. They're hilarious, they're fun, and they're doing this just for love, and also maybe for a couple of donations if you guys feel like sharing. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you next week.
Thank you very much.
See you next week, everybody. Bye.